amazing families! This is Hadija with the Parenting Mindset Shift. It is a place for parents to bring clarity, confidence, peace, and joy to their parenting journey. So today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite books that impacted me. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families by Stephen Covey. I read this book when my now 17 years old boy was a toddler, so some 15 years ago. And and like I said, it impacted me. But hey, before we get started, I have a special request for you. Try not to say that you already know this. Rather, ask yourself if you are applying that knowledge today, or if you're doing it right now. Because it is easy. It's an easy trap when you read or listen to something familiar to say to yourself, hey, yep, I already know that. And then you move on, but then you don't really change. Like you're reading all those books, you're listening to all those videos, but then there's no change. So the question is not, do I know it? The question is, do I apply it? And if you're not, did you choose not to? So that's the main thing. The mindset, that's the mindset shift that will bring joy to your parenting. Always ask yourself, do I do it? Do I know it? And do I do it? So be intentional and ready to apply the things that can impact your family. And in the book, so let's go back to the book now. In the book, I love the analogy of an airplane. He's using the analogy of an airplane. The fact that just like an airplane, we need a clear destination, we need a flight plan and a compass. And we parents, we need to start with that to arrive at our destination. We can have tribulation throughout, but we always go back on track with the destination. And I love the quote that he's using. Good family, even great family, are off track 90% of the time. The key is that they have a sense of destination and they know what the track look like, and they keep coming back to it time and time again. So my children are 9, 14, and 17. So we had our share of challenges and being on and off track. But we are always back at it because we parents have the vision. We have a mission and a vision. So the goal is not to tell you what parenting style you need to adopt to succeed. The goal is for you to find your own way, your style, your way. And I will be sharing the different things with you to show you how to create an environment that works for your family by having few foundation under your belt. So your family has its particularities and uniqueness. That's why it needs to be your own style. Don't compare yourself elsewhere. It needs to be yours. Our home has the Comorian, French, and American culture. And with that, we create a beautiful, unique recipe just for us. So I will share what mindset shift had to happen for me to create an environment that brings joy and happiness, which is really the main thing here. We want to enjoy the journey. I want to help you find your framework to create the family you want to be the parents you want them to remember. Okay, so let's start with habit number 1. Be proactive. Today, a lot of us are more reactive than proactive. So we have all our moments and where we lost it, we lose our patience, and it's okay. The intention here is to be aware of it so it doesn't become the default response. So I choose to apply here to practice pausing between the stimulus and my response. So the chaos when it's coming, and then how I react to it, and I pause so I can choose. And that's the concept that he's talking about here. The stimulus, choose your response, and then the response. You don't react immediately from the stimulus. And the idea here is to develop the habit of pausing before reacting. Building a habit takes time. So be kind to yourself and don't give up on practicing. It works to bring joy to your parenting. Being reactive, blaming, or accusing parent can seriously affect your child's emotional development. Constantly criticizing, blaming, or accusing your child can lead to low self-esteem and anxiety and decreased trust in your relationship with you. So it's essential to be mindful of that. Think about having another adult at work or at home constantly criticizing and blaming or accusing you. Stay there in that feeling for a moment, and it's not pleasant. I know. And the worst is it doesn't even encourage the change the behavior in the long term either. Some at work are considering even quitting the job after some kind of interaction with you, with another adult. So let's show compassion and understanding there for a moment. We don't want to be doing something that we don't want anyone to do it to us. Difference in how to react. If two siblings are fighting over a toy, a proactive parent will be like, hey, let's find a solution, let's brainstorm a solution, rather than simply coming to the room and punish one or both of them. This might involve encouraging them to take turns with the toys, finding another way to do different activity they can enjoy. By taking a proactive approach, the parent is helping the children learn valuable conflict resolution rather than simply punishing them for the behavior. So when you're reactive, you react at the moment based on what just happened. When you're proactive, you choose your response based on your values. I love that. The pose can look different for every one of us. You know where your family, you start having the different habit and behavior in your family. How is it going when you pick up at school, when you enter in your house, and before dinner, before bedtime? Try to be proactive and pause before that. If you go home, just pause before you enter the room. Pause before let's be intentional of having dinner together, because it's always chaotic and blah blah blah. So just take a moment and imagine you come home to a messy house and see yourself pausing, communicating just the way you want, with clarity, confidence, and peace. Think of a moment this week or today, because we know we have opportunities like this daily. So build that muscle to pause. The book also mentioned a concept I choose to be more intentional about. The concept of the circle of concern and circle of influence. So your circle of concern include everything you worry about as a parent, from your child's health, well-being, or to their academic success and social skills. However, not everything in your circle of concern is within your control, which can lead to feeling of frustration and helplessness. So, and then the circle of influence, on the other hand, include the things you can control or have a direct impact. This might include setting boundaries, modeling positive behavior, and providing a supportive and nurturing environment. So when you focus your energy and attention on the circle of influence, you feel more empowered and in control, leading to greater confidence and positive outcome for you and your child. So for example, let's say you're concerned about your child's grade in school, which is like every parent's concern. You might be worried that they're not working hard enough, or failing behind their peers, or things like that. Or have an impact in the college application, or things like that. This falls into your circle of concern because you care about it, but you cannot control your child's academic performance. However, you can influence their study habit, offer support, encouragement, help them to succeed, help them understanding why they are not successful in some aspect. By focusing on what you can control, you can take a positive action to improve the situation and reduce your stress and anxiety. So try to be mindful of those two, where you are when you do your make your decision. Going to the next habit, number 2, begin with the end in mind. Here we are talking about the purpose of a family mission statement and making sure that the mission and values drive the way we parent our kids. So are your values clear at home? Do they know them? Do you repeat them? Do they know who this whole family is? What is the mission? What are we trying to do? What is the focus? What is your repetition? So for me here, they know kindness is a big deal. So if kindness is one of the value, do I match with my way of talking to them? Does it match with everything that I do around it? So make sure that you know your values yourself, so you can parent according to that. So we have, and you can also come up with a mantra. We have the never give up and always care, for instance, and you can together build up a mission and a vision. So I love about that. So now habit number 3, put first things first. Here, I want us to think of how saying the family is important to us and how it shows in our daily action. How things are matching. How do we nurture our family? They know it's important. Do they know it? Do they feel it? And how do we do every day to make sure that this is showing that it's number one? So you have different ways to do that, different opportunities. One that I decided also to apply is one-on-one time. One-on-one time. I have 3 kids, and I make sure that I have a one-on-one with them in different ways in the week or during the day. And it will look like differently depending on how busy they are, how busy we are, but we are always making sure we do that. So during the time you spend on one-on-one, there are no judgment, correction, or lecture, just simple conversation about whatever is in your child's head. And genuinely enjoy the conversation. And if you're not a fan of the conversation, just reframe your mindset and enjoy the time you're spending with them, just by being with them. Because you know they will soon be off for college, which is our case here. So just enjoy the time, even if you're not enjoying the conversation, worst case scenario. So then the next one is meal together. Okay, eating dinner together as a family allows everyone to come together and share their day. It's an excellent opportunity to connect, discuss, enjoy your healthy meals together. And we all know that. But now the question is, do we do it? Do we make sure it happens? And I know we have to do it based on everyone's school, because we know after school they have practice at 9 p.m., 7 p.m. So we need to match that and making sure that it happens. But can we make it happen at least 1 or 2 or 3 times a week, if it's possible? We are able to do that pretty much every meal for us. And at our table, we had few adjustments that needed to happen so we could enjoy a family meal. First, the seats are assigned. No one is fighting for a spot. We know where each child and each adult is going to sit. So that's one that there is not time for a dinner and then somebody is running to get that whatever best spot is. So then we have another child who is easily irritated when a metal fork touch the plate. So we purchased some bamboo silverware or bamboo forks, and that's silly to say bamboo silverware, but you know the point. And the moment that sibling is not home, we're using those silverware. But anyway, and here's the point, is to be mindful in your home of how to make this simple moment pleasant for everyone. It should not be a moment of lecturing, yelling, or ignoring, or even ignoring like that. So the next way to do that, to create this habit number 2, is the family fun time. Spending quality time as a family is crucial for building strong relationship. Whether you're going for a walk, playing board game, or watching a movie, finding activity that everyone enjoy. In our home, the board game is not fun for everyone. Some like Bogle and Spinner, which is like an hour time, and other like Monopoly, which is like 5 or 6 hour time. Watching, I mean, we know we need to choose and see the different compromise that needs to be done here to make sure that we do have that. Family movie, it's the same. We have a 9 years old and a 17 years old. If we do watch a family for the whole family, it needs to be a PG movie for everyone to enjoy that. So the opportunity that we have here is to give the tools to the teenager to change his mindset when he's going to the zoo with us, not being in the, oh, I've been here for like ever all the time. Change your mindset of enjoying it for your little brother. Because us parents, we've been doing that for a lot of time, but we still enjoy the process. And of course, traveling, I think it's easy for everyone. Everybody loves to do that. We enjoy doing that as well. So the other one is the building family tradition. You know, like giving your family an identity. Like I said, for us, we are a family that has Comorian, French, and American culture. So the food, the different way we celebrate, the different weddings that celebrate, the tradition are different and unique. And we share that so we can like appreciate our uniqueness. And I'm cooking my mom and aunt Comorian's food at home, and my kid loved it. And when they went to Comoros, which was a trip that happened last year, and we enjoy all the different food over there were not necessarily new to them. They were familiar with it because I was cooking it here. the funny story about that. There's this bread that we call cachafucha, and my kids love it. I've been cooking it here, but then I knew that I was doing it differently from my mom or from the community. So when we went to Comoros and they were eating those cachafucha, my little one said, "I prefer yours, mommy." And I remember saying, "But those are the OG though. Like this is the Korean." And then my husband said, "No, now that we think about it, for our little one, the OG are the one you do at home." So my cachafucha is the OG for my family. That's the reference to see which one is better. So I was really flattered. I thought that perspective change was so beautiful. And so my OG was the one for my mom. His OG, original cachafucha, is mine. So that's just beautiful. Anyway, you create those things, you create those different habits of when you do those things. So for us, we have the whole month of Ramadan, which is also an aspect that needs to be added here. Whole month of Ramadan, we do those cachafucha. Food, there is a lot of different food, exotic food that we are doing during this month because it's time consuming. So maybe we use this opportunity. So you have your own way of creating your own different culture, and to create this identity at home that is, like I say, unique to you, and you build those different traditions that you have. And of course the whole, there is so many traditions out there that can be reinforced and just share, and that's how we build those memories. Now we are going to habit number 4. Think win-win. I love this concept. The idea is that here we have an emotional bank account in all relationship, much like a financial one, right? So just as we make deposit and withdraw in our financial account, we also make deposit and withdraw in our emotional account with others. And so in a parent-child relationship, here we are talking about the different concept in action. So if we are constantly showing love, support, understanding to our child, making sure that we deposit in their child's emotional bank account, this deposit builds a reserve of trust and positive feeling, which can help strengthen your relationship over time. On the other hand, if a parent is constantly critical, negative, or dismissive in their child's feeling, they are making withdrawal from the emotional bank account over time. This withdrawal can deplete the reserve of trust and positive feeling, make it more challenging to maintain a strong and healthy relationship. So just think about that. So overall, the emotional bank account concept reminds us that our relationship are built on the foundation of trust and respect and positive feelings. So by making consistent deposit in the emotional bank account of those around us, we can build stronger and healthier and more fulfilling relationship over time. So let's be intentional. Let's be mindful of if we're doing that when we communicate with them. Is that something that we draw, or is that something that deposit? Okay. Going to the habit number 5, seek to understand, then to be understood. Woo! This involves taking the time to truly listen to your child and understand their perspective before seeking to communicate your ideas and opinions. So for example, your child comes to you upset about a conflict with a friend. Rather than immediately jumping into the advice or criticism, you might practice the habit of asking questions to understand their perspective. By doing this, you can show your child that you value their thoughts and feelings, and you are willing to take the time to listen to them genuinely. This can help to build trust and respect between you and your child and create this more open, supportive communication channel, right? And once you have fully understood your child's perspective, validated, you can then work to communicate your ideas and opinion, and clearly and respectfully. This might involve offering suggestions for how your child can navigate the situation with their friends, or simply validating their feeling and providing a listening ear. And sometimes you can even ask them, what do you want right now from me? Do you want me to just listen to you, or do you want me to give you advice toward that? So by taking a proactive approach to communication, you can help build stronger, healthier, and more effective relationship with your child. You can also model positive communication skills that your child can use in their current and future relationship. Okay, so the habit number 5 really is a powerful tool for building a strong and more effective relationship with your children. So you can create this supporting and collaborative parenting environment where we foster trust and respect and open communication by seeking to understand before seeking to be understood. So now we're doing the habit number 6, synergize. Here we want to value each other. We want to value each of them. And we want to recognize their strength in each other. Taking the habit of having some kind of ritual of giving a compliment daily to your child. Daily. And it can be in the morning, it can be in the evening. Just create this ritual, this habit of doing it. It can be something like, oh, I love how you are creative when you build your Legos. And if you know something that is important for your child, like justice for one of my son, I love how justice is important to you, and how you do the things that actually, show action toward that. And not just the really basic, you're so smart and you're handsome, which really are but those are also okay to do. But try to be specific in the compliment, and try to see what are the things that you think and know are important to them, and go in that language. And say I love you to the people you love. Let's make sure they feel it. Let's make sure they know it. And repeat that in different ways for them. I have the habit of saying to my kids, hey, I love you. You know I love you, right? Yes, Mama, I know. But how do you know I love you? Because you say it 1,000 times. How would you know if I don't say it? Because you give me hugs all the time. How would you know if I don't? Don't stop, Mama. And then they go on. Because how would you know if I don't give you a hug and I don't say I love you? Because you care about me. Because you read me stories. Because you like to be with me. And those are actual answers. Like he's 9 and he will say things like that. Like you just like to be with me, and you enjoy talking with me and spending time with me, and you lay down when I need to, when you give me hugs. Those are indication of how he feels it. Those are good for me. Those are like good tips that by not me saying it, he knows that I will do it by different ways. And it's different for all of them. And there is so many things that we can learn in. There are books about it, and the 5 love languages is one of them also that had impacted the way I parent my kids. Trying to find ways that they know and they feel love. Because we may assume that they should know that we love them, but they may not feel it. And I think that's important, to make sure that they actually feel it. And those are the different things that help us create this environment of feeling trust and feeling worthy and valued. And so take the time to reinforce those values and teach it at the same time, model it, teach them how you do that with them. So now habit 7, sharpen the salt. Ooh, take a moment to think of things you want to stop or start. Like we want to start the habit of pausing. We want to stop the habit of criticizing, for instance. But here, the sharpen the salt is those habits that you create a system around to take care of yourself. Being proactive in that aspect is important. You want to nurture yourself emotionally, physically, socially, mentally, and spiritually. You want to fill your cup. You want to make sure you do the things that are bringing you joy and peace and calm and strength emotionally and physically. You're doing your exercise, you're doing your meditation, you're doing your weekly going to the church, the mosque, or the temple to spiritually fill your cup. you are taking care of those aspects. Those will help you have this moment of it's easy to make a pause. So you create a system to make sure that you are filling your cup, you are prepared, and you are your body fully ready to actually pause before you respond and be mindful and intentional. So now, imagine a house where things can still be chaotic, but you see yourself with no yelling, no losing your patience, calm and clear communication. Whoo! Here, those are the habits. That's the foundation. That's the framework. That's the start. That's the beginning of the work. It's not yet done because there is so many things that we can go deeper. But hey, the only thing standing between your parenting today and the parenting of your dream is how you choose to show up and how you decide to shift your mindset. So I hope this helped you on a practical level. It was a little bit longer than usual. Share in the comment any insight or shift you got today in this video. Let me know if there is a habit you want me to go a little bit deeper into. Let me know in the comment, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you like it, and share it with everyone.